Hi, today I would like us to crochet a baby boots, and I would like mine to be Christmas themed. So some of the items that we're going to use will be a white and red yarn, but you can use a yarn color of your preference, a 4mm hook, and some stitch markers. So you're going to start the project with a slip stitch, and to do that you take one end of the yarn and put it under, then the continuous yarn over. Using your 4mm hook, you pull a loop like that, like so. So we're going to start with 13 chains. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So the last two chains count as a turning chain. So you're going to do 2 half double crochet from the second chain. So that is yarn over, and in this second chain you're going to do 2 half double crochet. So that is 1 and 2, and we're going to put a stitch marker here on the very first loop. We're going to continue with 1 half double crochet in the next 10 rows. Okay, so that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So in this last chain you're going to do 6 half double crochet. The relevance of doing 6 double crochet is that it's going to help us get that nice curve. It will start for the sole of the boot. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then weaving in this end, continue with the 1 half double crochet for the next 10 chains like you did in this side. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Then in that final chain you're going to do 2 half double crochet. So by the end of row 1 you're going to have 2 half double crochet at the starting point and 6 half double crochet at this other side. This will be the back of the shoe or the sole, and this will be the front. So what you want to do is remove the stitch marker, then do a slip stitch like so. So you chain 1. Okay, you continue to the second row. In the second row we are going to start with 2 half double crochet for the next 2 chains. Okay, so that is 1, 2, then don't forget to put your stitch marker, then 1, 2. So you're going to do 1 half double crochet in the next 10 chains. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Then we're going to do 2 half double crochet in the next 6 chains. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, Then we'll continue with 1 half double crochet in the next 10 chains. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Then we'll continue with 2 half double crochet in the next 2 stitches, 2 chains, sorry. 1, 2, that's 1. Then 1, 2. We complete, you remove the stitch marker and then complete with a slip stitch, then chain 1. For row 3, you want to alternate between the 2 double crochet and the 1 double crochet, where we've been doing 2 half double crochet. So that we'll start with the 2 half double crochet on the first chain. So 1, 2, then put a stitch marker, then 1. That's the first set. Okay, then another 2 half double crochet in the next chain. 1, 2, then 1 half double crochet on the next. So that's the second set. Then we'll continue with the 1 half double crochet in the next 10 chains. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So in this part you're going to do a set of 6. So the alternating set of 6, so that is 2 half double crochet on this first one, then 1 half double crochet, that's one set, 2 in the next chain, then 1, that is the second set, 2 in the next chain, then 1, that's the third set, 2 half double crochet in the next chain, then 1, that is the fourth set, 2 half double crochet in the next chain, then 1, that's the 5th set, 2, half double crochet in the next chain, then 1, that is the 6th set. So we do 1 half double crochet in the next 10 chains. Then in the following stitches we do a set of 2, so that is 2 half double crochets in the next chain, then 1 half double crochet, that is 1, 2 half double crochet, then 1, that is the second one. So on this very first we've put our stitch marker, we do a slip stitch to close off. Yeah, so you do 1 chain and pull the end. So that is how you finish that row off. Ultimately, this is the what you have. Okay, this is the front part, this is the back part. So now you want to introduce the other yarn. In my case it's gonna be the red yarn. Okay, so pull, I don't want a long tail, just enough, then chain 1 to secure it. So what you want to do is start the process by inserting the yarn from up, and then you can see what I'm doing. Yeah, then pull the yarn and then do a single crochet. The yarn has split, so let us do that again. So the relevance of this design is that it starts curving the yarn upwards, if you can see, and then at the bottom it leaves this beautiful pattern. You see that? So we'll do this pattern all round. So I'll do this part a little bit in a hurry, but you can play it in slow motion. You can stop it wherever you want, or even rewind it. Just take your time. It will be worthwhile at the end of the day. And you take your time to make a neat pattern. Ensure you don't jump any stitch. You start from where you left off and you go upwards. You single crochet. Start from where you left, upwards. Let us meet when I reach here. So I'm about to complete the row. So chain one and then pull. You can weave in your ends using the darning needle or using the needle, the 4.4 crocheting needle. So I'll show you both ways. We'll start with this darning needle. You want to put it in the middle of this yarn. Just sew it in. Whatever remains, you can cut it or continue sewing it in as long as it's secure. So the second way that you can crochet, you can weave in the ends using the crochet needle is this way. But you can also use the darning needle and just sew it in, whichever you prefer, whichever you find it neater. So this is what we have. So we'll continue with the rest of the shoe. So what you want to do is, looking at the middle, you want to fold this into two so that you can find the perfect half of the shoe. In my case, it's here. Okay, here. It's a little bit away from where we were exchanging the yarn. So instead of starting here, we'll start one chain over. This is here, so that where we changed the yarn is here. There's one stitch, and then here. You need to be careful with this part because you can find yourself adding stitches, increase, and that will be an increase to your entire project. Okay, so now we'll start. So now we'll crochet a single crochet all round. We'll single crochet all round for 2 rows. Okay, I'm going under both loops. So this is what we currently have. We'll meet when I'm done with the 2 rows. Okay, I'm about to complete the row, and I needed to show you this. When you're concluding this row, be careful not to add stitches by seeing here. You need to skip this and go straight to where you had started your first stitch here, and do a slip stitch. Okay, because you will find yourself, if you do a stitch here, if you do let me finish this single crochet. If you put a stitch here where you started, you'll be doing an increase. So ensure you just go to your very first and slip stitch that, then do one chain, then in the first you do the you continue with the single crochet. Okay, yeah, wanted you to take note of that so that you're not doing an increase by mistake. Ensure you're doing a single crochet on both loops, and you do 2 rows. Once you're done with the 2 rows, you chain 1 and then continue with the 16 single crochet stitches. Then we'll continue with the 2 half double crochet, and then 12 double crochet. This will help give that nice curve to the boot. See the shape it brings. This is more elevated. So we continue with the half double crochet, the 2 half double crochet, then proceed to with the single crochet, just like we did this other side. So 1, 2, so we continue with the single crochet. Remember about the increase here, so ensure you're not increasing your stitches. This is how it should look. Not sure if you can see the focus right, but yes. So let us continue. We're going to continue with 15 single crochets. So that is from here. We're going to start reducing the stitches so that we can begin to close up the boots. So to do that, this is what you do. You do the normal half double crochet, then you extend it like so, so that you have 4 loops. Then you reduce it. You do that again. then the third chain. From here you want to continue reducing, but with a different stitch. So this is what you do. When you have the 3 loops, you reduce 2, you yarn over, go to the next loop, then you have 4, you yarn over the 2 stitches, you have 3, then now you finish the stitch off. You do that again, and ensure your stitches are tight. And for this reducing stitches that has 5 loops, we do 5 stitches, so this is the 5th. Then you continue with the one you reduce with the 4 stitches 3 times. So 1, 2, 3. So this is what you currently have. The shape is beginning to form. So finish your boots with the single crochet. I'm sure you're not increasing the stitch here. So you should have something as beautiful and as consistent as this. So chain 1, and then you continue. Continue with your 10 single crochet in this next row. 3, 4, 10. So the next stitch will be 1 half double crochet, like so. Then we do the reducing stitch, of 4 loops, so 2 of them. So that's 1, that's 2. Then we do the reducing stitch with the 5 loops, so this is that. You reduce 2, then you have 3 loops, so we'll do that 4 times. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we do the reducing stitch with the 4 loops 2 times. 4 loops, 1, 2, then 1 half double crochet like we did this side, then you finish off with a single crochet. Ideally, the single crochet in this side should match this side. So if you have 10 single crochet here, you should be having 10 single crochet here, 15 single crochet here, 15 single crochet here. But in case you find yourself having lost stitches, you can count the number of stitches all round and look at count for your perfect middle, then continue these stitches here. The problem of missing your stitches is that this pattern will not be beautifully in half, so you'll find it slanted a little bit, so you probably want to take note of that. So here, as usual, we finish off with a slip stitch. So in the next row, you chain 1, do 10 single crochet, 1, then continue with the 4 half double crochet. That's 1, 'So continue with the reducing stitch of 4, that is 1, 2, then the 4 half double crochet, 1, 2, 3, 4. So finish off with the single stitches. Eight. So now this is how the boot is looking like. love it. So it's nicely carved. So I'll show you the rest of the, we'll continue the rest of the part. Before I forget, you chain one, then you cut, then you tighten that. I showed you how 2 ways of weaving in the ends, so you will weave in the ends. In this other part of the boots, you start with the slip stitch. You put this under, then you pull the yarn over. That's how I make my slip stitch. So we'll start with a chain of 35. Then you'll chain 2, that's your turning chain, and continue with a half double crochet. So ensure you're starting your half double crochet from the third chain, from the third loop. Okay, I'll meet you here when I reach the end. You continue with your half double crochet till the end, and then we'll meet there. So I'm finishing off the first row, chain 2, then turn over your project. So you want to do the half double crochet in the front loop. So the yarn over, you have 3 loops, pull just on the front loop. The beauty of this pattern is that it leaves a beautiful pattern. So we'll meet once, then you continue till the end, then I'll meet you there once we reach the end. So I'm about to finish my second row. Let's finish together. Now in the third row, sorry, there are two ways you can do your project. The first way is you can continue with the pattern that you started here. That is, you can yarn over and continue with the front loop. Okay, like that. So the resulting pattern will be like so. There'll be an embroidery there and here. Then the second way is you do your normal half double crochet. Then the second way is you do your normal half double crochet, but instead of using the front loop, you use the back loop. And that is the pattern that I would like to use for my project. I would like to alternate between the doing the half double crochet from the front loop and the back loop. I would like to alternate between those two stitches. So in my third row, I'll half double crochet in the back loop. Both designs are beautiful. So the resulting pattern is this. This will have like 2 loops. This one will have like 1. And like I said, you can use whichever method you prefer. They're both good, they're both beautiful, and they'll both give you almost a similar finish to your projects. The only difference is the pattern, but they're all beautiful. In the comment section below, you can let me know which one you preferred and why. So I'll meet you once I'm at the end. So I'm finishing up the row. Then you turn the project. In the fourth row, for those people using the first method, what you want to do is continue with the front post until you achieve your desired length. I'll let you know what mine will be. But for those using the second method like I am, like I said, we will be alternating between the front post and the back post. So since the third post we used the back post, now we are using the front post. So this row will be the same as the first row. So you yarn over and focus on the front row, on the front post when you're doing your half double crochet, like so. And you for those using the second method, you'll know when you're doing the correct thing when you see these patterns. The first row had the 2 loops, then the 1 loop, 2 loops. As you continue, it will be 1 loop. It will also be alternating. That's how you know you're on the right track. So let us meet when I'm at the end. Let us finish off this row together. Then you turn your project. In the 5th row, your 5th row is going to be like your 2nd row. You do your half double crochet from the back loop for those using the 2nd method. You yarn over, go to the back loop, then half double crochet, back loop, continue like that till the very end. Continue with this pattern until you have approximately 18 rows or 7 inches. I'll let you know what mine is once I'm done, but that is about the approximation. Then I'll show you how to continue. So here we are, 18 rows later, and about 6.5 to 7 centimeters, 7 inches later, we have the length of the other part of our boot. So what you want to do is attach these 2 ends together. We're going to do that together. We're going to attach them together using a slip stitch. So I'm pulling the yarn over both loops, all the loops. There's no front or back loop. You continue this way till the end. then chain 1, then cut. Now we have this, so do this for the second shoe, and I will show you how to attach. I already showed you how to weave in the ends, but in case you need a reminder, this is it. You can use it, the darning needle, or this hook, and just weave in the ends. Like I showed you earlier. Whichever method you use, it's perfectly okay. The idea is to secure the yarn and ensure your project doesn't run. Okay. The next part of this project will entail attaching this part to the shoe. So the two ways you can do this: you can choose the part that most pleases you. I had done a couple of projects before, so there's this one that the different stitch patterns are what is shown on the outside, but for this one I would like this side, so the different stitch patterns will be on the bottom, and the opposite side will be on the top. But you can do either way, like you can see in both my projects. They're all beautiful, so you choose. In the red one, if you want this part to be, if you want the different stitch patterns to be on top, you attach it like this, because ultimately you're going to fold it like so. Since I want this part to be on the outside, I'm going to turn this project like that. Then I'm going to look at this. I'm going to choose one of these parts, preferably the one where the attachment was done, and here, and align it to the back here. So I'm sure there are very many stitch patterns that you can use, but the one that I want to use is a slip stitch. So this is how you attach, or this is how I attach. I align this part with this is the middle, so slightly beside the middle. And I do a knot so that I am sure it is completely secured. So from there we start with the stitch pattern. with the slip stitch pattern, sorry. So this, then in these two loops for the lower part, I want you to look at this carefully because it will give you a neater finish. Although there's no wrong way of finishing this, even if you take both patterns, it is okay. But for more neater look that I've learned through doing this project, you see in these two loops, check the one that is the most inside, you know, the inner part, and put your stitch like that. And then for the white part, do for the two loops, the chunkier, so like this, the two loops. So the inner loop for the bottom part, two loops on the upper part. Then pull the yarn like so, then do a slip stitch. So this covers this red part nicely, although even if it's seen, it's not entirely wrong because it will be covered by the upper part. But for more neater finish, that is what I have preferred to do. The inner loop, both loops, pull the yarn, slip stitch. Then do that all around your project. So the parts that are a little bit harder than the others because of the ends that we weaved in. So you may prefer to choose a smaller needle. So I'm going to change this 5mm hook to a 4.5 or a 4. So I've gotten the 4mm hook to continue because it will make the finishing much more faster. And like I said, there's no wrong or right way of finishing this project. For the white part, you don't want to, you want the white part to be a little bit chunky, a little bit loose. You don't want to stretch it out while you're attaching to this because you want that chunky, warm feeling to the boot. It's you want a warm, fuzzy feeling to the finishing of the boot. But then don't space it out so much. You see what I was talking about with the neater finishing. You can also use a darning needle, but I realize that does not give a neater look. It makes the stitches here look a little bit tight and not as neat as a slip stitch. But if you find but I'm sure there are neater ways of doing finishing with the darning needle. Maybe I haven't practiced so much on that. So comment below if you know another neater way. We're here to learn from each other. For the red part, ensure you do the slip stitch for every chain, but for the white part you do not have to follow every chain. You can space them out a little so that it is not tight on the ankle for baby's leg. You see, like here the chain is a little bit bigger, so if you chain here, it's gonna be tight, so you chain a little bit further, like here, and leave that chunky part to fold a little. I like completely closing off the red part. Then you chain one and pull an end, and cut. You can weave in the ends the two ways that I showed you, any of the two ways that I showed you. Then I'll show you what to do next. So what I love about a slip stitch is it gives this are you seeing how beautiful these chains are? And they're nicely concealed. So the next part of the project is you are going to fold the white part in two, like so. And you fold it so nicely it covers the lower part completely. Okay, so once you have that, this is what you have. So the next part of the project is attaching the buttons. You can choose any buttons of your preference. For example, in these brown boots, I used these buttons, and I've attached 3 of them like so. But in this one, I want to use the clear buttons. I think I'm going to attach them this way. So most of the buttons, when you look closely at the buttons, these holes are a little bit, this one is going through, but for the brown buttons, this one could not go through, you see. So do not be afraid of using the normal sewing needle and a smaller yarn, a thinner yarn, sorry, to just sew and attach them together. So I'll show you 2 different ways of attaching the buttons to the project. So since this one goes, the normal darning needle goes through, we're going to use this, because it's already clear, I wanted to use the red so that it continues matching the pattern of the project. So this is where we attach the project. So a little bit on the front is where we are going to sew in the needle, like so. And the yarn is a little bit chunky for the buttonholes. So I'm going back and forth. You don't need a long tail for this, and you want to tighten it with every pull. So I'm going up and down, up and down, up and down, in and out, in and out. Until the needle cannot go through. More. You can see the struggle in that right now. So I think that is tight enough. You want to remove the darning needle, tie a knot, a really tight knot, then tie a knot again, then cut the ends as close as humanly possible without cutting the white part. That will be disastrous. Be careful not to cut your project. So we have the first button. So the second button, the darning needle cannot go through, and this normal needle, the the thread is a little bit chunky for the hole, so just find a way of pulling the needle through this and continue the pattern. So first thing I've done is pull the yarn on the normal darning needle so that I have something to hold on to when I pull it, so that I can pull it like this. Ensure you're just pulling one end like that. This is the second way, by the way. This is the second way of sewing in the button, especially because the holes are a little bit small. Just find a way of pulling the thread into the button. But like I said, on the brown project, I use a smaller needle and a smaller thread. You do not have to struggle with this one. I just wanted this contrast, that's why I committed to struggle, but you do not have to struggle. You can actually use a the thinner red yarn, but I do not have a thinner red yarn at the moment. Then you take it back on the inside like that. Since you can't do a lot of rounds with this one, this is the second way you want to tighten you want to sew in the button. You want to check the ends after after the one stitch, so like, and then do a very tight knot. And secure the button into the project. Be careful not to cut any part of your white project. And this is the ultimate look.